the 6 most luxurious royal palaces around the world. Have you ever had the opportunity to visit a royal palace or even spend a night in one? People these days are building huge houses with all sorts of luxuries, but referring to them as palaces might not be accurate. Numerous royal palaces around the world have stood their ground for centuries, and their sheer size, extravagance, magnificence, and value makes building proper places uneconomical and unnecessary. These are 6 of the most luxurious royal palaces in the world. 1. Schönbrunn Palace, Vienna, Austria. Located in Vienna, Austria, this beautiful palace is arguably the most significant historical, cultural, and architectural monuments in the country. Before the construction of this place, a huge mansion called the Kataberg stood in its place. The Holy Roman Emperor Maximilian II bought the island in 1569, and place came there for hunting an exotic bird just for viewing. The area became famous for recreation and hunting, and people would spend a lot of time there. Eleonora Gonzaga received residence after the death of Ferdinand II, her husband, and built a castle there between 1638 and 1643. 2. Roondale Palace, Latvia. This is the aerial view of the magnificent Roondale Palace, one of the locations that the Dukes of Orleans in 1768 would call home in Pils Roondale, present-day Latvia. The construction of this place began in 1736 and continued through land. To 1768, Ernest Johan von Byron, the Duke of the Courland back in 1735, bought this land. Despite having an old medieval castle in its area, after demolishing the old castle, the construction began and continued slowly until 1740. The year Byron fell from grace, the empty and unfinished shell stood there until 1762, the year that Byron returned from exile. Upon its completion in 1768, under Rastriel's supervision, Byron moved in the same year and made sure to visit it every summer until he died in 1772. 3. Palace of Versailles, Ile-de-France, France. This palace of Versailles is nothing short of spectacular, with this amazing photo highlighting its extent and its outstanding beauty. The beautiful and expertly maintained surrounding is a huge contrast of how this area used to look like during the construction and its initial completion, because it was built in the midst of the small 11th century village. Louis XIII began building this palace in 1623, intending for it to be a hunting lodge. However, in 1682, Louis XIV expanded it and moved France's seat, a political power from Paris, to this palace, making it the official royal residence. 4. Potala Palace, Tibet, China. This stunning place is amazing in every way. Although today it is a World Heritage Site and a museum, this palace used to be the Dalai Lama home from its completion until 1959. When the 14th Dalai Lama had to flee to India owing to the Tibetan uprising, historians believe that this palace sits where an earlier fortress called either the White or Red Palace used to sit, which Songstan Gampo, 637, the 5th Dalai Lama flagged off construction of Potala Palace in 1645. Kangok Fafel, one of the Dalai Lama's spiritual advisors, claimed that it was ideal for the seat of government to be located between Sara and Drapan monasteries in Lhasa, the old city where it now sits today. 5. Alhambra, Andalusia, Spain. The name of this beautiful palace and fortress complex is Alhambra, one of the most attractive buildings in Spain. In AD 889, the Romans built a small fortress which stood here, but was then neglected until the mid-13th century. The Emirative Granda, Moorish Emir Mohammed bin Al-Ahmar, renovated it, built the walls and built a palace here. In 1333, the Sultan of Granda, Yusuf I, transformed it into a royal palace. Following the 1492 Christian Reconquista, the palace became the royal court of Ferdinand and Isabella and partly changed to have a Renaissance taste. Neuschwanstein Palace, Bavaria, Germany. This image of the Neuschwanstein castle is simply breathtaking. This castle's history is both interesting and a bit complex. One of the things that make it so amazing, before its construction, King Maximilian II of Bavaria, Ludwig's father, bought the ruins of Schweinstein Castle in 1832 and replaced it with Hohenschwangau Castle, a neo-Gothic palace that was complete in 5 years. Two other castles, the Hinter Hohenschwangau Castle and the Vorder Hohenschwangau Castle, which shared a fortified tower house, a keep and a hall, overlooked the Schweinstein Castle but were in ruins.